So I'm making this video because I don't know what the fuck else to do. Poor dog. He doesn't know what else to do either. I'm 4 months into not using cocaine. I've been addicted to everything. I've gone through withdrawal from everything. Detox like you wouldn't believe. I won't even get into it, but it's been 4 months. And for the last week, I have been beaten over the fucking head with dreams every night. Dreams where I'm trying to use, and I wake up sweating, clamming, in full withdrawal. And where I went I went months without experiencing any of this. And for some reason, for like a week straight, out of nowhere, I mean, I've heard about post-acute withdrawal, but it's supposed to be like, just little, like moments of it where you might wake up and like, you could say dream or nightmare, and then it kind of passes. But no, this has been relentless. This has been every goddamn night where I'm just seeking out fucking cocaine, as if it's like, it's so hard because, in meetings and things like that, it's just all about abstinence and how like this thing is bad when, I have health issues. And I do feel like, I would settle for the coca leaves, that like the coca leaf alkaloids, which is what cocaine is actually supposed to be. A lot of people don't realize that. When it's good, it should be nothing more than coca leaf alkaloids. And that those, I have the long COVID thing. Part of that, shortness of breath, not being able to breathe, and brain fog. That's exactly what it helps with. It helps with altitude sickness, which is shortness of breath, and, not really thinking clearly. So it feels like a fucking antidote. So, at first, it is very helpful. So, like, what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of nuance behind it between just, like, because I went to a meeting tonight, but, like, none of this shit seems to help to this moment. Like, I want to fucking throw up, and, like, part of me just wants to cry. I mean, I have been. There's so many videos on TikTok of people just fucking like, oh, look at me crying. When, I don't know how people aren't embarrassed by that shit, but, like, why would you post that? I don't know. But, or like, why is there a market for that other than to know that, like, other people are in pain? But I guess I just answered my own fucking question. People put it out there because they don't know what else to do. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm putting this out there because I don't know what else to do. I don't know people who understand, because there are, even with other substances, like people, they get their hooks into people for a reason, where people self-medicate, and there's a reason why they probably like, they're fucking, of course now it's all fentanyl, and fentanyl's fucking killing off everybody, which I don't think is a coincidence. I think that there are forces that want poor people fucking dead. Okay? The bulk of fentanyl is coming from China, a country that kills its own citizens. And let me make this very clear. When I talk about this, which I have in the past, it is not a race thing. No one is more powerless than the citizens of China under this regime. The shitty fucking... Anyway, it's all of this fentanyl is coming from a place that kills its own people. And I really think because everything's made in China, like, fuck poor people, right? If you're too, and like that our government's just fine with it. If you're too poor to buy the products that are all made in China, fuck you, you might as well die. Except for the problem is, you hear about kids fucking touching it and dying. You hear about people who are just, thinking that they're trying Molly or whatever, and they're, ends up being fentanyl, and they fucking die. So people are dropping like flies, but, that's the thing, like... Any drug in China, fucking death sentence. So people are more than okay to fucking let us die. Not that, I think there's part of like wanting to take over the U.S. and dominate the world anyway. That's why they're fucking butting up with, the leader of China's butting up with Putin. Anyway, that's all other side stuff. But I do think it's complicated. I do think that there's people self-medicating because they're not getting the things that they need. I think that it's fucked up that... I think part of the problem with a lot of drugs out there is that they're not legal. We're not getting pharmaceutical grade things. So a lot of the negative side effects are from fucking filthy drugs. So when if they were clean and could be, just like given out, it's no worse than any other prescription. Like you see, it's FDA approved, so that's good, or it's not FDA approved, so that's bad. Where it's like, how much horrific shit has the FDA approved and then had to pull? And then you look at the food and the shit that they okay when they're pumping like fucking high fructose corn syrup and all kinds of shit that is making every American overweight. You hear stories about like, that girl who went to Japan, lived on junk food for months and ended up losing a bunch of weight just living off Japanese fucking junk food. So, there is so much wrong with this fucking, with so many things. And I don't think that there's an answer. I do think that we're past the point of no return. I think it's very hard to be an optimist, and we're more divided than ever when we should be more united than ever, that we are all on the same boat. There's this idea of like, there's that one meme that's like, it's like the foot of like the don't tread on me, thing that you see of like the foot stepping on the snake, except for it's a foot that has like all the corporate logos of like Amazon, Google, and Nike, all these fucking things like that, fast food companies, oil companies, and, defense contractors. And it's like, at least it's not the government stepping on the snake. And it does seem to be like a lot of things that like, even like libertarians and conservatives and things like that, where it's all this fear of government overreach with zero fear of corporate overreach. And just marching all of that money, like, I don't want that to go to the government, but marching it all over to corporate, fucking forces that somehow that's okay and that's better. A system where somebody can be a fucking billionaire and own the goddamn world because money fucking, once I took ayahuasca, and part of the trip was seeing for sale signs slapped onto everything. And then eventually the planet, it zoomed out and I'm looking at the planet from space and there's just a giant for sale sign slapped on the planet. And then I had this mantra going through my head, this like endless struggle, end this struggle, endless struggle, end this struggle, endless struggle, end this struggle. And, during the trip, very intense, a little bit out there, I know. This was way longer than it needs to be. But you know what? Fuck it. This was about me getting something out. And if even one person gets something out of this, awesome. I watched a movie called like 4 Good Days with Mila Kunis. Didn't even know it existed. But like that shit helped me out. So maybe I'll fucking tag this with addiction stuff. And if even, like I said, one person gets something out of this, that would make me feel good. So, all right, take care. And, good luck to all of us.